thought Claudia. This is scary. Aloud, she said, You'd better stick close behind me, Janice. Don't worry, I will, Claudia, promised Janice wholeheartedly. Clutching the flashlight, Claudia started slowly crawling away from the door, going deeper and deeper into the space under the house. Somehow the place didn't seem to have any connection with the bright, sunny day outside. You could almost imagine you were traveling into the center of the world, dark and clammy and very, very silent. All the two girls could hear was their breathing and the scrape, scrape, scrape of their sneaker toes dragging along the dirt. Then Claudia began to wonder, what if something terrible were up there just ahead of them? What kinds of things with drooling jaws might be hiding under houses, just waiting for someone like Janice and Claudia to show up? Claudia's bare legs broke out in goosebumps. How far do you think we ought to go, Janice? Claudia asked. Maybe we've gone far enough. Janice's voice quavered. She must have been thinking of terrible somethings and things with drooling jaws, too. Then, just at that moment, something sharp bit into Claudia's right knee. Crunch! With a yelp, she reared back. Janice, who had kept her promise and was practically glued to Claudia, crashed into her behind. Claudia catapulted forward. What happened? Janice gasped. Did you hurt yourself? Claudia scrambled up and shone the flashlight on her knee. Nothing with claws or fangs was in sight. It's just a silly little rock, she said, disgusted to have been so frightened for nothing. Whew, breathed Janice. I thought maybe you saw something. Claudia thought a moment, and then she turned to Janice excitedly. I did see something. Something terrible? Janice's eyes were huge. Claudia shook her head. Something good. Light! I saw it just as I fell. There's a wall over there, see? Claudia pointed the flashlight. Maybe there's a window on the other side. Come on! They began to crawl again. And just beyond the wall, which must have been the base of a fireplace chimney, they found an opening, a small one, with a wood lattice. They put their noses up to the lattice at once and peered out. Then they sighed in relief and turned to each other with happy grins. It wasn't the center of the world after all. Why, there was Mrs. Wisby's familiar old flower garden. And there was Mrs. Wisby herself, wearing her garden apron and broad-brimmed green garden hat, clipping some of her last summer roses. There was something else familiar out there, too, just the other side of the wood lattice. It was a fat, gray cat who strolled over instantly to investigate the two faces that had suddenly appeared at the little opening. It's Irma, exclaimed Claudia, rolling her eyes at Janice. Janice choked back a giggle. I thought she never left home, Claudia. She doesn't much. When she travels, it's mostly just next door to the Friedmans or the Hennessy's. I never knew she came around the block. What are we going to do? Asked Janice, looking delighted rather than scared over this new danger. Mrs. Wisby might see her and come over to investigate. I know, said Claudia, equally delighted. Irma Harper, you go right home. Go away! Shoo! Shoo! Irma's nose, however, stayed glued to the wood lattice. Finding the familiar smell and sound of Claudia underneath this strange house was very puzzling. Irma had no intention of leaving in a hurry. Oh, Claudia, moaned Janice, she's not going away. Maybe if we get away from the opening and are very, very quiet, she'll leave, Claudia whispered. I hope so, breathed Janice. It's so dangerous. I know. The two girls backed carefully away from the small opening. Then, after Claudia had taken off the knapsack, they flopped down on the dirt and watched Irma's inquisitive pink nose as it delicately sniffed through the wood lattice. Claudia felt that she was having one of the best times she had ever